Hi everybody. Well, see this right here? This should be reading 1/4 of a tank. And when I started the car up, it did not go anywhere. It didn't move. And you can actually see the actual indicator is below the actual E, so there's nothing registering on it. What could it be? Could be the gauge, could be the wiring, could be the instrument binnacle, could be a fuse, or it could be the sending unit, which I think it is. Let me show you, I almost guarantee you what it is, and let me show you my quick little fix that cost virtually nothing to make it fix. I figured I'd just pass it on just to get you guys to continue with the B5s. That's pretty much it. All right, let's go and let's go pull a sender and I'll bring it to the bench and show you what I do to make it work. On the B5 Avants, just pull the trunk carpet, fold down the seats. Here's the setup right here. What it is, you have an external or a to the engine and from the engine fuel lines, and you have a clip right here. This is for the fuel pump and for the sending unit like that. Pretty easy. Main thing is I just leave those on there. Take a flathead screwdriver. Sometimes you might have to use a hammer. Now that I know it's loose, where I can just pop it right off, I just undo my little things right here. As you can tell, the fuel pump was replaced because they would have permanent clips on there. But and expect some gas to shoot out like that because it is under pressure. And these pliers right here from Mac, actually they do a really good job. Here's a fuel level sensor for the B5. What happens is, this right here is like a potentiometer. Goes up and down, reads the level of fuel. We have a wire right here to right here is soldered. We have it soldered on the other end, right here, with this fuel float locking down this portion right there. So what happens is, when this thing goes up and goes down, it creates, seeing how it's locked in a position right here, it kind of creates a weak point where it breaks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just add another wire from here to here. I'm going to try and give it enough slack so what happens is when this thing goes up and down, very little movement and it won't be locked in where it'll break. That's the thing. So, all right, let me go find some wire. I'm going to desolder this, pull this float off, desolder that, and then we're going to throw it back in the car. Get a better look at it. There's a wiper arm, and we're taking this thing off right here. There it is. The solder went all the way through, and it's locking this on. Now I'm going to make it a little bit different when I put this thing back on the sending unit. Make sure you don't bend this. Make sure it contacts the wiper, or this wiper mechanism. Make sure it contacts fully. Now I got to trim this wire off. Now what I want to do now, I want to loop this around like this. So so it gives me like a spring action almost. Like this. So when it goes up and down, it's taken out through this spring action. So that way it doesn't put a stress point on this. So let me clean this tip off and I'll solder it to that.
here's the finished product. What do we have? We have the new wire, loops around, goes down here, and soldered onto the wiper. What it is, we have to make sure when you solder this, you have to watch and make sure the solder underneath the original solder for this wire right here with the jacket has to be soldered in. It has to be complete. That's the big thing. And I put my relief right there, so when it goes up, you see this expands, comes back down. So there's no real stress point there and no real stress point there. Usually that works for a while, you know? So that's the big thing. All right, hope this works for you. I'm gonna go throw this back in. Let's make sure it works. Well, the moment of truth. Put the lights on.
Little under a quarter of a tank. I think we're good to go. And no leaks. Woohoo!
Well, there you go. I hope that helped you out. You know, it's just gotta, you know, save the B5s, you know, because believe it or not, I think this is like the last decent Audi they made, you know, honestly. And also, these hose pliers like this, these are from Mac. They work pretty good. I would suggest them wildly. Other than that, thank you very much for showing up. I really appreciate it. And just another small video I had to do without cutting rust. Oh, grinding rust and welding panels. All right. Well, we'll see. I hope this helps out. All right. See you now.